don't think so. I don't dream any more up here than I do at home, and I still dream about the same things. So I think it's all normal. Over. On our way back down to Earth, we are operating the Soyuz vehicle that we're going to be coming back in, and first we undock, then we hit the thrusters, and we slow down from 17,500 miles per hour to about 15,000 miles per hour, and then we re-enter the atmosphere, and we continue to slow down and generate a lot of heat, and the idea is that we get to a couple hundred miles an hour, and the chutes come out, and then the whole thing takes about 3 or 4 hours. Over. Yes, Christian, I am. I have telephone access sometimes if I can have a good, if there's a good satellite link, and then I also have email whenever I need it. Thank you. Well, Emma, my mom tells me that I was 4 years old when I decided, but I remember making a firm decision when I was somewhere between 10 or 11 years old in junior high school. Over. If you sneeze and it's big and juicy, then you put a big, huge mark on the inside of your helmet, and it makes it hard to see. But that's about it. Over. Well, that's a good question. If you cry in space or your eyes water a little bit, the water balls up a little bit in the corners of your eyes, and you have to dab it out. If it comes off of your eyes, then it just floats away, but it does not run down your face like it does in Earth. Over. No, it doesn't scare me because we have a lot of great people on the ground keeping an eye on all of our old satellites, and we call it space junk. We to make sure that we're not on collision courses. And if we do get on a collision course, then we move the station so that we miss. So it's a pretty good system. Over. Looking out the window, I have only seen other vehicles that are coming to the space station. Over. Well, when you the very first minute or two that you get into zero gravity, your fluid starts to shift from your legs and your gut, and it kind of goes up into your head. And so you have higher pressures in your head, and the fluid's kind of pulling you in there. And it feels like you're flying in an airplane upside down. Over. Well, if somebody gets sick, obviously we don't have formal medical care up here, but we do have crewmates that were trained, and we have a direct link with the doctors via our communications on the ground. So we have a lot of medicines up here that we would treat with, and we would work it the same way we would on Earth, except we would have to do it ourselves. Over. I think you're talking about Robonaut, and Robonaut is all packed up and ready to come home, and that was a research project to see if we could actually build a robot that helped, and I think they're still working out the kinks. Over. I think the most amazing thing I've seen is the Suez Canal and the Panama Canals. You can see those pretty good from space, and you can just tell how much work it took when they made them. Over. Well, my friend and I play guitar, so sometimes we play guitar, and then other times we watch TV, and then other times we communicate with our families to make sure we're keeping up with things. Over. Well, eventually they're going to hit something in typically they will hit a wall or some part of the structure inside the station. So we just try to track them, and we try to wipe them up before they cause any damage. Over. We create oxygen from water, and we split the water into hydrogen and oxygen, and then the oxygen comes into the station, and we vent the hydrogen overboard. We have a system that does that for us. Over. When we get to Earth, we have to go through the adjustment again because all the fluids in our body are evenly distributed, and when we get to Earth, they all want to go down to our legs, assuming that we're standing straight up. So we take some time to go through that adaptation again, and our middle ear has to take some time to adjust as we go through that process. Over. Moment I had in space was when I was trying to eat dinner and I opened the package wrong and food went everywhere. It was all over me and my friends, and they were kind of mad at me, but they were laughing at me. But I had a big cleanup project. Over. Yes, absolutely. I would go to Mars. Thank you. Over. My favorite experiment that I actually worked on was Apex, and I got to grow lettuce up here. And we watched it germinate, we watched it, the lettuce grow, and when it grew big enough, we harvested it and we ate it for dinner as a salad. It was delicious. Over. I kind of brush them the same way, but I get a little drink bag of water and I take a sip of water and I swish it around in my mouth to make sure it's all kind of wet in there. I put just a little bit of toothpaste on my toothbrush and then I brush my teeth. After I'm done brushing my teeth, I spit all my toothpaste out into a towel or a wet wipe or a dry wipe, and then I throw that in the trash, and then I take a wet wipe and I just kind of rinse off or wipe off my toothbrush. But we do not have running water, so it makes it a little